All right, so the line is available from Rock Auto, not from your local auto parts store. It's made by Sunsong. That's the part number 3403707. Made in Thailand. All right, so it's got the little bracket over here. That's the bracket that's back here, and you see it makes the turn, and it goes down. And it goes all the way down. It's basically just a U-turn, comes back. Just a power steering oil cooler, almost like the Chevy Impala has. It just runs, I guess it cools off here and then goes back up. So I'm gonna assume that it's mounted somewhere there with maybe a couple clips. Comes up, it goes underneath the AC line, so that's going to be a problem there. Might have to move this reservoir to somehow go under these two AC lines. Then it's going to make a turn and go down to the rack. So I'm assuming it's this hose here that goes to the rack. And all right, we're gonna tackle it. It's going to be a little messy because all the oil is going to be flying out of here. But this is it. This is the way it looks like. All right. I guess that's the way it would sit. Runs along the fender, below the headlight, makes a U-turn, comes back up. All right, so this hose here will be attached to the reservoir. This hose here is a long one, goes straight down to the rack and pinion. All right, let's see what's involved. Let's get to it. Most of the bottles are already moved already. This one have to move out of the way. I'm still trying to figure out how to unplug that windshield washer pump. Can't figure out how to do that clip. But I'll get to it because it's a pain in the butt to have the washer jar there. But I just took the pump out of the washer jar. This can just sit on the side, no big deal. This will kind of open it up a little bit and we'll see what happens. All right, so let's do it. All right, got to take the power steering reservoir off. Okay, take it off this clamp over here. Right, you squeeze the clamp, and this is designed so that the bottom piece of the clamp will go into that little hole over there and it'll lock it in the open position. Pretty cool, right? 13mm bolt up on top. That will remove the reservoir and you can bend it up out of the way. I tied it over here with the spout pointing up because it has a little bit of oil up to here. So yeah, it's a little bit of a mess once you take it apart. Then went down over here. There is a 13mm nut on that stud. This bracket is welded to this shock tower, so it's not going nowhere. So what I have to do is I need to pull this AC bracket here, okay, away. And then if you look up close, you can see this is the bracket for that power steering. All right, so I'm going to pull this bracket away a little bit, try to hold it there. I'm going to pull this bracket out past the stud and push it down a little bit. Okay, not sure how far it's going to go. This is part of that bracket. It should go. It should drop a little bit because that is a rubber hose, so I'll be able to kind of squeeze that out. How I'm going to get it through here, under here, is going to be a different problem. But let's try, because it can't go up this way because this bracket is here. You know what I mean? And it's pretty tight fit over here. But we'll figure it out. Let's continue. Okay. I say if I pry this far out, the bracket, that hose assembly, the power steering hose, it doesn't go down because it hits the harness. So I pulled it up out of this stud here, moved it out of the way so I have clearance for it to go down, you see? So once I pried this back, okay, I was able to get the bracket out of there and swing it off to the side. So now the bracket is off to the side. You can see it, it's out from under it. So now, this whole assembly right here is loose from here. I gotta check to see if there's any clamps holding it before it goes down to the rack. There's nothing holding it here on this fender. And I stuck my hand under and I don't see anything else that it's attached to. So it should come out free. But like I said, the problem is that, you see, it hits this line, the AC line. So I wonder if I can stick it through this way and pull it out. I mean, listen, pulling it out is the easy part because, you know, I can just cut the line, which I might end up doing, but I like to try to get it out as one piece. That way I know how it's going to go back as one piece. You understand what I mean? Because anybody can cut a freaking line. It's just putting it back. That's the problem. All right, so I'm going to look underneath and see what's attached to it. If not, it's just a hose. We're going to take the clamp off that hose. Then this whole assembly will just have this L piece will have to somehow come out through this fender underneath these AC lines. All right. Oh, and I disconnected the washer hoses. All right. And for you not to get confused which one is the left, which one is the right, it's very simple. When you have the little union on there, leave one connected, one unconnected. So now when you go back this way, okay, you know which one goes where. This one's going to attach to the hose end on that side, and this one's going to attach to the connector. All right, see? Good tip for you, right? Because everybody just pulls the two hoses out and then, oh, I don't know which way it goes. Anyway, that's the simple trick there, people. All right, let's move on. Next. All right. So to follow that rubber return hose all the way down yonder, against the frame there is a P-clamp. 13mm bolt, and then follow the hose all the way down. You're going to see right next to this pressure line, all the way down on the bottom, there is a clamp for that hose. I don't know if I'm going to be able to wiggle it here for you. Let's see if you can see it from here. That's the hose. You see it in that really far corner right there. You're going to see the little bit of the clamp moving, okay? So that's where the hose is going to connect to. All right, so what I'm going to do here probably is just to cut that hose so whatever oil's in there would stay there. And then when I raise the car up to connect it, then that's when I'll pull that hose off. So what I might do here is I might just snip this hose right here and take it out with that little clamp. And we'll figure out how we're going to wiggle it out of there. All right, but yeah, that's just a rubber hose. Not going to worry about it. I am going to cut it right there. Hopefully won't make too much of a mess, or there's not too much oil in there. All right, so let's do that. Yeah, I took the cover off and I put a little cardboard on it so that when you lean on it, no sense of getting dirty. Okay, let's go. All right, so there's no way that this hose is going to come out nicely. So what I did was I took another 13mm off this pressure line, just give me a little bit of more slack. Then I went downstairs and disconnected that line. Okay, show you where that line is. All the way over here, people. All right, there's the line right there. There's the hose with the clamp. So I just disconnected from there, and it's going to be dripping for a while. So I'll leave this pan here. All right, and now I'm going to try to pull it up to the top. All right, let's do it. All right, I was able to pull the whole assembly through here. Okay, as you can tell, came out through there. This P-clamp was hitting a couple of items, so I had to just manhandle it through that hole. Come out here. So now we're up to the part of trying to slide this out from there. All right, so I'm going to try to go on an angle. Hopefully I don't run out of room. But this part is done. You can see the bracket was a little bent down out of the way. I can get it this way. Then I just switched it back under all the way around. It's the only way to go. It's the only way to go. All right. All right, let's continue. All right, folks. Now we're down, like I said, to the part that goes under the bumper. So yes, it is secured with some silly bolts and clips. So got to remove the wheel well. All right. So over here on the side here is 1, 2, 3, 4 7mm bolts. There's a 10mm bolt up here. Okay, and then there's a couple of Torx 20s down over here. Okay. Then you bend it up out of the way and you take a peek in there, and here is the line right here. Okay, goes down and around, and it actually has 2 Christmas tree clips holding it onto the frame. All right, so I just popped those out, and now it's pretty much like loose. Can't grab, there it goes. All right, so now I'm going to continue to pull it up out of the way. All right, there's nothing here in the way that it could grab it onto, but yeah, I tried to unclip them and leave the Christmas trees on there, but nah, we're just gonna wiggle this bugger out and see what we can do. All right, but yeah, because of the mess, this here is a mess, that's a mess, everything's a mess. So a lot of cardboard. Don't want to mess up my cement driveway. All right, let's try to wiggle it out and we'll see how it goes from the top. Look at this. Look at all that room over there that you can see. You can see daylight. All right. I wonder if it can go down through the wheel well and come back up. All right, I'm going to do it. I'm going to use my 2 hands, see what I can do. Then I'll let you guys know. All right, so yes, it has to come out of here. All right, the harness has a little Christmas tree clip here. You got to pull it up out of the way. And I don't understand why it's wrapped around the AC line, but that kind of messes you up. Otherwise, you would have a big hole right here to take things out of. But we're going to have to slide this over here with one hand, and then this one's going to come out. And I'm going to show you what you have to do is you have to stick your hand through that, through the wheel well. And I'll show you what you have to do. Because remember that little loop goes into that bumper bracket. Lucky it's a rubber hose. Okay, so I'm gonna get this out here. All these clips and everything is pretty annoying. All right, so here it is. It's out. Okay, remember I told you this piece goes into the bumper. Okay, so when you're pulling it out, this is grabbing onto the bumper, and there's a fog light over here. So because it's a rubber hose, which is good, reach under the wheel well and just pull this up around the fog light. And then once you're around the fog light, then the rest of it will come up and out. All right, so here it is right here, all the way out. All right. Where was that leak? I think it was around here somewhere. It's behind this little rubber piece here. Peel it back. We'll see it. Okay. Right, so that's where the thing was. Like I said, it was holding water, dripped it all the way down, made a big mess. All right, so I don't know if we're going to use these Christmas trees or they come with new ones. But we'll check it out. We'll compare it to the new one, okay? Let's do it. All right, here's the new assembly over here. All right, it's a little bit different. Crimp part on the original one is on that side of the hook. The replacement is on this side. But either way, it's the same thing. All right, the curve is a little different. That's, I guess, is going to be normal. Okay. This pretty much looks the same. It comes with a couple of rubber grommets. This one is going to replace that one over here. This single one is going to replace this one over here. That plug, I'm assuming that would have probably went in the old one when I pulled it out so it doesn't leak. I'm assuming that, but I didn't use that one. This is the same. The clamp looks the same. The P-clamp that came out of the body, okay, you can see that P-clamp does not come apart. You can take it apart, but I don't see how you're going to put it together. Look, they have a replacement Christmas tree. So you just push it in, so that'll be easy. And it comes with a clamp on this side. All right. So it's got the clamps here, the clamp here. These are pretty much in the same area, give or take. This one they put on the elbow as opposed to over there. There's one there, no longer up here. All right, that's it. So just gonna put these on. These just it's like they just clamp on. All right. Probably put a wire tie on it too. So I'll do what they did over here with the wire tie, because I don't know exactly what it's gonna hit. This part hits the frame somewhere. So I'll roughly put this in the same general area as that one, and we'll see. All right, this, like I said, this is just a plug. I don't think we need it. I'm gonna put that off to the side. All right, now we're gonna just fish it back in, and it should be fun. All right, let's do it. Alright, so I guess this is the trick. You have to take the wheel well out, because look, if you stuck this whole hose assembly down into the hole so it's almost touching the ground, take the long hose, fish it back. This makes this a lot easier to go, look, up and under. Okay, so yeah, so maybe that's it, people. We have to go through the wheel well. Alright, so now this is going to go up. Okay, attached to that. And then I'm going to go attach the one on the bottom. So yeah, well, at least that part went in easy. This part's going in easy. Now we're going to finish the rest. Alright, let's go. Alright, the hardest part is getting in there to put those two Christmas tree clips on there. Alright, because with this being a rubber hose, and that's all flexible, it's bending up and out of the way, and you can't get your fingers in there and find the second one on the left side. You can find that hole there on the right, but you can't find the left. So I turned the wheel to make a left turn that way. I took this thing and I bent it up out of the way so I can get two hands in there. And I also took the fog lamp light off, because every time that you kind of reset it, you don't want to break that wire. All right, so two hands in there, one to kind of like twist it a little bit. I put the right clip on first, and then you use your fingers and figure out where the other one is. It's actually exactly on the same length, just on the other side. But once you get that done, then you are good to go. All right, and we're gonna put this clip back on, and then we can either finish the top or put the wheel well together. But yeah, the wire tie's on there. That's on there. Everything up here is good. All right, follow along. I put the harness back in where it belongs there. That went in. The bracket goes behind that stud. That piece goes in there. All right, just got to put the 13mm bolt for that pressure line right there. Connect the hose down on the bottom. Then you know what, I'm going to spray this all up before I put the panels on, because the thing is a really total mess. Nice oily mess. Alright, so you know what, I'm going to fish that hose that I have laying over here. I'm going to fish it all the way down, connect that little Christmas tree to that hole, and let's finish that side up. Okay, that's what we're going to do. Alright, there you go. Spray some brake cleaner in there to dry it up. Put the clamp on there for the bottom hose, and I'm going to show you what we did on top. Okay, on top, remember that little bolt that's on the side of the frame? So attaches with a Christmas tree now clip. Okay, and then there's this ABS harness. There's also a little clip that holds it right there. See it? That holds the hose away from the fan belt. So that's all secured now on the bottom. This comes up here. That is all secured. So the assembly is in. So I'm going to button up the bottom, and then I'm going to start to button up the top. All right, so this comes out of the way. Get better view. All right. Don't forget to put that 13mm bolt back on for the pressure hose there that goes to the pump. Spray this all up, because like I said, it's going to be a mess. All right, but yeah, there's the line. Put the nut back in there to support it, and it's got enough little rubber things that should hold up pretty good. All right, we're going to continue. All right, so just spread it up with some brake cleaner. The liner's back on. One clip there, 10mm there, 3 7mm there. The T20s over here on the bottom, and then 2 more clips that hold here, 1 and 2. All right, so that's all together. That's it. Cleanup time. It's starting to get dark now, so I'm gonna take a break. We'll come back to it tomorrow. Basically, we just got to put the reservoirs back on. hook up this hose over here to the reservoir, fill it up, and then bleed it. And that's it. We're done. All right. That's it. Put the engine cover back on, and we're good to go. All right. That's all tightened up. That bolt is back on. That's all tightened up. That's it. All right. Union brake. Continue tomorrow. All right, folks. So, put the windshield washer jar back in. Mounted the reservoir. 13mm bolt there. Connected the hose with the new clamp that came with it. Okay, so washer jar back in. Antifreeze jar back in. Also a 13mm bolt. Washer jar is a 13mm bolt. Plug back the windshield washer pump right in there. Connected to the two hoses. Remember the simple way that I did it? Okay. And that's it. We're going to start it up. We're going to run it. I changed the belt while I was here. Okay, because everything is pretty much almost easy peasy. It's right here. But that's on another video to change that belt. It's not really easy peasy because it's kind of a weird the way the belt wraps around, but while you're here, you might as well do it. That's the way I look at it. Okay? If you don't remember when it was changed, good time to change it. Alright? So I'm going to run it and check it out. Okay, oh, of course we filled it up right to the line where it's supposed to be. Let's see if we can shake it and see. Alright, so it's to the max line. I'm going to run it, top it off, get all the air out of it, and then we are good to go. And it looks like the job will be done. Okay? It's hard to see, but the line is in there. Okay, follow along. Okay, like I said, the best way is probably going through the bottom. Okay, all right, let's start this up. All right, there you go. Everything all together. Fill it up to the max line, which is actually right below this little cap here. Checking there for any bubbles. Should not be any bubbles. Turn the wheel left and right several times and bleed it out. And then now you're as good as gold. All right, put the cap back on. No more leaks. All right, this is the power steering fluid we use. AutoZone. That's it. We're done. Checked underneath, checked on the side, checked everywhere. No leaks. All right. Thanks for watching, folks. Ciao.